December by John Clare, 1793 to 1864. While snow the window panes bedim, the fire curls up a sunny charm, where creaming o'er the pitcher's rim, the flowering ale is set to warm. Mirth, full of joy as summer bees, sits there its pleasure to impart, and children tween their parents' knees sing scraps of carols o'er by heart. And some to view the winter weathers climb up the window seat with glee, likening the snow to falling feathers in fancy infant ecstasy, laughing with superstitious love o'er visions wild that youth supplies of people pulling geese above and keeping Christmas in the skies. As though the homestead trees were dressed in lieu of snow with dancing leaves, as though the sun-dried martin's nest instead of icicles hung the eaves. The children hail the happy day, as if the snow were April's grass, and pleased as 'neath the warmth of May, sport o'er the water froze's glass. So, this is a poem by John Clare. John Clare was a British poet. He was born in near Peterborough in Northamptonshire. He was a farm labourer, and so was his father. So was his whole family. He did go to school, but he only had limited schooling because living in the family of a farm labourer, school was something that was secondary to work needing to be done on the farm. He left school at the age of 12 and tried various things. He he saved up and bought a book of poetry, and that set him off. The book was James Thomson's The Seasons, and he then started writing poems and trying to sell them to a local bookseller to hold off the eviction of his parents from their home, but they were evicted anyway. He started to gain a reputation as a poet. He normally wrote about the countryside. He describes the countryside. He makes beautiful descriptions, and he also writes about childhood in the countryside. He writes about the loss of the countryside because this was a time of agricultural revolution, and he also has a darker side, writing about alienation and madness, because later in his life he was interned in a Northampton mental asylum at least twice. So this is a poem that describes December. While the snow the window panes bedim. So it's snowing, and the window panes, the glass, are becoming dim. There's not much light because there's snow everywhere, even over the window panes. The fire curls up a sunny charm. So there's a fire in the room, and the flames are curling, and this is wonderful. The fire is keeping them warm. Where creaming o'er the pitcher's rim, the flowering ale is set to warm, and the beer has been put by next to the fire to warm. This is British beer. This is bitter, and it has a better taste. It has better flavour when it's warm. This is not something to drink cold, and it's frothing, it's foaming, and that's why it's creaming. The foam is coming over the edge of the jug, and the ale is like it's full of flowers, and it's there to warm. Mirth, mirth, happiness, full of joy as summer bees. So everyone's happy, everyone's joyful, like that, as if they were summer bees buzzing around. And it sits there, its pleasure to impart. So mirth is going from person to person. It's like the personification of happiness is there, like bees going from all around the room. And children, tween their parents' knees, sing scraps of carols o'er by heart. And their children who are between their parents' knees, on their parents' knees, and they're singing little bits of carols again and again, the little bits that they know by heart. And some to view the winter weathers climb up the window seat with glee, likening the snow to falling feathers in fancy infant ecstasy. So some of the children, they're climbing on the window seat and they look outside and they see the snow is falling, and this is like feathers, white feathers falling in the sky. And this is their imagination. They're imagining that the feathers are falling from the sky, and this is the snow. Laughing with superstitious love, or visions wild that youth supplies of people pulling geese above and keeping Christmas in the skies. So the children are laughing, and they're superstitious. It's as if they say that it's as if there is somebody plucking a goose. To pluck is to pull the feathers, so there's somebody pulling the feathers off a goose and chucking them down. And this is the snow coming down, and this is the vision that they imagine. And this vision is people throwing down these feathers to make Christmas in the sky. Look at this nice alliteration, people pulling geese, people pulling, it's very good. And as though the homestead trees were dressed in lieu of snow with dancing leaves. And it's like it was summer. Yes, it's as if the trees were dressed, were covered in leaves that were dancing instead of snow. So that the leaves in summer, the leaves of the trees are dancing in the wind, but here they're covered in snow. As though the sun-dried martin's nest, instead of icicles, hung the eaves. So instead of the icicles that are on the edge of the roof, it's as if the nests of the swallows, the martins, were the house martins. So it's as if the martins' nests of summer were under the eaves, but there are icicles instead. The children hail the happy day as if the snow were April's grass. And the children are enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day. They're happy about it, as if the snow was the grass of April, and that the spring was here. And pleased as 'neath the warmth of May, sport o'er the water froze as glass. And they're as happy as if they were playing in May, and the snowflakes are moving over the water, which is frozen like glass. So the children are happy, and I think John Clare is particularly fond of winter. I think he really likes winter. He thinks it's really beautiful, and he's describing the beauty of the snow, of a snowstorm, the beauty of Christmas. Everybody's happy, everybody's frolicking, and they're enjoying themselves, despite the fact that this is midwinter. This is December. So, December by John Clare. Bye for now.